Hello, it's 4:28 p.m. There's at least one teacher still in this building. I hope she don't come in at least for the 15-minute break that I'm taking in here. But you know, so I can't stop her or tell her, "Oh, you can't come up in here." But I just gotta cut the video off. Hurry up, just letting y'all know that if somebody comes in here, I gotta hurry up and cut the video off. But I'm done cleaning this building. I don't. I mean, but that's what the online perps try to make it like. Oh, you can't tell somebody. You can't get mad because somebody come in the building. They got a right to come in there too, whatever. But I'm just saying, clarifying that I never said they couldn't come up in here. You know, but I'm just warning y'all that if somebody come in here, I gotta hurry up and cut the video off. But the perps always twist things to be differently from what my intent is. Just whatever they can to make me out to look like a bad person. So, I understand that, some teachers might have to stay late for certain reasons, like grading papers or something like that. So, but after I got done cleaning this bathroom in here, there was a teacher who came in, the teacher that's still here. She came in and used this bathroom. So I hope they wouldn't penalize me for that, or that I have to come back and re-clean the bathroom all over again. But we start at this job, we start at 2 o'clock, and then so I've been working consistently up until 4:24. So I'm taking my 15-minute break. So this boss over here, he be like, "Y'all grown," so he said we basically can take a break whenever we want, as long as we get our work done. We can take it whenever we want. you know so even if you want to work 4 hours and then take a break, some people just workaholics like that. Even at the other place, um the other school plus the previous job, that I was just determined to just get everything done. But people are like, you're entitled to that 15-minute break, so take advantage of it. It ain't gonna hurt you. So anyway, so this morning I had this little cup of oatmeal of the package of food that this lady gave me a couple of weeks ago. And I had those detox juices, and I took a shower, and I gathered the trash in my little motel room. And by the time I was done, it was time for me to go to work. So I didn't even get to go back to sleep or take a nap or nothing. So for lunch, I had, at the school today, the other school, I had rice, mixed vegetables, cooked mixed vegetables and rice, and those little chicken bites and some orange juice. Yeah, more juice. And a tiny little undercooked cookie. I think the whole batch of what they cook made for the students is like, I ain't eating those cookies no more. Because it's like, it's a whole like container, metal container full of like small little chocolate chip cookies. And it's like whoever bakes them don't bake them, like they're not baked, they're almost like half undercooked and stuff. So I don't, so, but the students eat them though, so So not I get water and juice usually. So again today I did not bring the I didn't have the time like I wanted to go to the store and go get me some pre-made food to just warm up. Um so I have to just find something, wait till after work to go to the store or a restaurant nearby, whatever's open, and get me something to eat. Because it's, costs so much money or pointless to get delivery when they got all these food places over here, you know. So I know it's not good for my health to be living off of deli sandwiches all the time, so I be wanting some real food, like actual healthy stuff I try to strive for to eat, you know. So this and it took me I wanted to just go straight into the topic, but I apologize, it took me 6.5 minutes. So this topic I wanted to talk about while I'm on my break is remember, I mean, it's not just the foster mom destroying me and my twin sister, our relationship. At 4 years old, kids, you know, we used to fight over everything, even at 4 years old. But you know, but then they had whatever foster care experimentation and programming done to us, and so I mean, I feel like you have to be a heartless person to take in children just for the money, and the love and the heart and the care is just not there. That you take, and the foster, that wasn't the only one. They've had other, um even in Los Angeles, I came across and heard stories. It's funny because they had black people in Los Angeles confront me and swear up and down that they knew me for years and saw me around, and even then, walk up to me and tell me my whole life story. Like, well, not my whole life story, but they knew. And they said, that wasn't you. I said, but I was in foster care. But how do you know me? But I wasn't in foster care out here in Los Angeles. I'm like, I was in foster care over in New Orleans, but I never came across you before. But that could have been gang stalkers, witchcraft gang stalkers. But some of them will sit there and pretend like they're on your side and pretend like they like, if some people, wicked people, pretend like they're good and then nod their head and act like they agree with the idea that, oh, the foster care system is crooked and this and that, whatever. So but then you're wicked and crooked too. As I said, a lot of the ways that the foster mom molded our minds to be this way, and certain things I just, undid a lot of my own so-called programming. A lot of the ways that she wanted me to be this way, and I'm like, no, I don't have to be this way. So I got a certain age and I realized everything didn't have to be cheap and on sale. 90% off clearance. And then I mean, she just taught us a twisted way of the world, pretty much, but didn't really teach us much of anything anyway. As I said, she would leave us to fall on our face and make a mistake and then yell at us and condemn us for it. And her own sister, the foster aunt Mickey, she had her own foster kids who she was abusing, and excuse me, and Mickey And the biological gay brother Mark, they operated in that they didn't set any rules for you. It's just that if you unknowingly did something that they didn't like, they would yell at you and go off on you. You know, me, if somebody doesn't know that something bothers me, you know, I have to remind them a few times nicely, you know, but then after a few times I figure, okay, you're perping me. You're doing this on purpose, deliberately. So I remember even with the foster mom, I was like at least 19 already, and still controlled by the foster mom. The foster mom still, you know, giving us curfew and controlling our relations, controlling our friendships, not allowing us to have boyfriends, you know, and stuff like that. And if one guy talks to you, then that automatically makes you a whore and stuff. So you're not allowed to have friends, relationships, and boyfriends even at 22 years old. When I was there, you know, forced to go to the fake IDMR meetings, IDMR cult, and everything. And so I'm just thinking about how the system decided to have me and my twin sister separated, and then us brainwashed to hate each other, and then not getting along, and then so they can punish us for it, you know. And it's like I'm thinking, like, because I'm sitting here, you know, doing janitorial work at the school. Me and my twin sister had certain similar childhood experiences. Like, she could tell you on her channel. I don't know if she ever mentioned about, you know, the teachers locking you up. I mean, the teachers locking us up in a small janitorial closet and seeing like pretty much all day, you know, lock you up in a small closet in the whole school day. Just lock you up in there, you know. And we're the only two kindergartners that we knew that happened to. I think a few times they have probably locked us up in there together, but most of the time it was separate. Like the teachers, the kindergarten teachers, locking us up in small janitorial closets. So in the beginning, I wasn't in special ed, but my twin sister was, and they had me in a regular class until I bit this boy named Anthony in kindergarten, and that's when they put me in special ed. And and so um and then they kept me in special ed then, but then when I was in first grade, I mean when I was in kindergarten, they put me in the same class, special ed classroom as my twin sister. And so me and my twin sister, I mean, yeah, at first I was riding a regular bus and everything. And then after that, you know, they put me in special ed, and I didn't realize that I bit Anthony because I was being abused in the foster home, you know. And then after being locked in a small janitorial closet, then we come home and the biological gay brother Mark, he was like 14 or 15 at the time, and lock us up. And I don't remember him locking us up together, but him locking us up in the hot laundry room. You know, the laundry room used to be a garage, I heard. So then it was just a garage turned into a laundry room. And the room would be, and we were from New Orleans, so it was hot weather, warm weather. And so we could have died, you know. But the foster mom obviously didn't do anything about Mark treating us this way because it happened so many times. And we used to tell on him. And the foster dad, Al, would be like, all right, go play. You know. And then Mark used to act like he had justification for hating us because we told on him and stuff like that. You know, we got him in trouble. I only saw Mark get whipped one time. One time I saw Mark get whipped We used to get whipped daily by the foster mom. Whelps on our booty, bloody whelps on our butt and everything. And the foster sister, Joni, was 19 years old getting butt whippings. 19 years old. And the foster mom would give her bloody whelps all on her arms and legs and stuff. That's how the foster mom treated us. Some people say the foster mom was like a powerful witch, heavily into voodoo and stuff. But of course she hid that from us. And so back to me talking about the abuse that we went through in early childhood, and then I witnessing the foster brother Joe physically abuse and beat on his whatever wife he had and stuff like that. And because he had more than one wife, going through wives like toilet paper and being, and then beating on us. And like all the beatings from different people, like the people at the daycare, at the learning tree, the nursery that we used to go to, and being abused by kindergarten teachers, being abused by, and they want to say our quote unquote bad behavior. So, just almost everybody, every adult, not every, but a lot of them, put their hands on us, or if it wasn't physical, then they would, go run to the foster mom and be like, oh, Candy doing it or whatever, so we can get beat up or get whipped or whatever. And so just being surrounded by just nothing but daily abuse. And then when we got to elementary school, I started off in first grade in special ed and riding the special ed bus and everything. And my twin sister went to the same school as me the first day, but then they took her out. I don't remember if she was in the same classroom with me even on the first day, but then they took her out, and then they put her. She bounced around from school to school, like in elementary, went to like a few different elementary schools. They try to make it like, I thought it was a gimmick to split us apart. That and then, when we were little, they used to have us sleep in the same bed, but then we got a certain age and we slept in the same room but different beds. And then after that, we each had our own room. And so also what else I wanted to say? So when we were in middle school, we had the same homeroom in middle school and high school. But we had the same homeroom, but then after that, we had different classes and different special ed agendas or whatever. And what I mean by that is, if I would have been more mainstream than my twin sister, or if my twin sister could have been mainstream in one thing and me being mainstream in regular class in another thing, like so. But if you're not mainstream in any regular classes, you call self-contained special ed or something. So in first, I wasn't mainstream until second grade, and I was mainstreamed in art class. And then after art, third grade, I was mainstreamed in math. Third, fourth, and fifth grade, I was mainstreamed in math. But I think in fifth grade, I was mainstreamed in, like, they started mainstreaming me in, like, in social studies, science, and then in sixth grade, in English, and almost everything, except maybe one reading course. Maybe it was reading. Yeah, and I was pretty much slow in reading comprehension, but excellent in English grammar and even Spanish grammar, by the time I got to high school. But, it's like, the foster mom and the psychiatrist and the social workers, if me and my twin sister had altercations or arguments, they didn't give a damn. They didn't care to help us resolve conflict properly and encourage us to get along They just took the lazy way out and just straight up punished us, rather than, you know, raising us properly. And so, I heard about how foster parents still try to control the foster children even after they're of age, and maybe because there's some money in that too. But the foster mom kept lying and said, "I don't get a penny for you." She was taking my Social Security back pay check and my monthly Social Security checks and left me with the smaller check, the SSI check, and just left me just so deprived and restricted even at 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. Aside from me living in when I had my own apartment and in New Orleans Towers at the time, but then having to live back with her after Hurricane Katrina, and then the abuse got worse. The abuse actually got worse after we turned 18. And so they had this white girl, I think her name was Ashley, and she had a brother named Brandon. And when they got put in foster care, and I think I heard that they were gonna separate Brandon and Ashley. Ashley had like attempted suicide, and sometimes they'll place two siblings together in foster care, but other times they'll separate the siblings in foster care. And in our case, they made it like as if we were not allowed to have, even after we turned 18, the foster mom and the social worker didn't want us having contact with any of the biological family, at all. Like as if we were, like they felt like if us contacting the biological family, that was a threat to them, like for us to know too much about if we're supposed to be 18, we should have the freedom and the right to do what we want if we're grown adults, but still being treated like a child at 22, and I had my doggone car and everything. And being controlled and abused again. It's just crazy. I was just thinking today when I was working about, and there were even other situations where, they separate the siblings who love and care about each other so much. But here, we sitting here, me and my twin sister sitting here brainwashed and programmed to hate each other. And the foster mom drilled in our head that we should hate the biological mom, and that the biological mom was basically, crazy. So I was wondering, if the biological mom was a targeted individual, but then when we got to the biological mom, she seemed like she was perping me too. So it's like, I'm confused here. If the biological mom was, hated by society and called crazy, her kids kept get taken away in batches and stuff like that. And there was the false rumor. I don't know if it was true or false, but it didn't look to me that the biological mom was whoring and stuff. They tried to say she was a whore and on the foster mom. That's what she poisoned our head to believe, that the biological mom, Candy Grandpre, was crazy and on drugs and a prostitute and stuff. That's the same rumors that they have, But I don't know. They used to try to say that the biological mom was on both street drugs and that she was on street drugs and recreational drugs and psychiatric drugs and stuff. But the biological mom, Frances, I don't know of her, haven't known. All I knew of her to do was just smoke weed, not do the other drugs. But she did used to overdose on psych meds, and she used to stay up for days, and talk a hole in your head and would not let you sleep. So, I know my time, I got to get back to work, but before I go, I have to mention this. Y'all, research Senator Nancy Schaefer. Senator Nancy Schaefer. Google and YouTube or whatever other website. Google search Nancy Schaefer exposing the CPS system. If you're a targeted individual watching this, Google search fightcps.com. How you can get, I mean, even if you're not a targeted individual, if you got problems with, fight to get your doggone kids back. Because this is a wicked doggone satanic system that they're using your kids for MK Ultra, mind control programming, and blood sacrifice. Human trafficking, child trafficking. The foster care system is a doggone diabolical system that destroys and ruins families. And fuck the fake ass foster care system. Go fry in hell. That I can't even, you know, and society is helping for me and my twin sister and other relatives. They don't even want a relationship with me. It's like they are brainwashed and programmed against me being the target. Because I found out the damn truth and try to get it to them in truth and love. And they think I'm just talking all kinds of nutso talk. They're grooming your doggone children, taking your children away from parents, and using them for programming and sacrifice. I'm supposed to be the doggone blood sacrifice. So I gotta go. So I gotta start on the next building. And I'll see y'all.